Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and day 20 of my August Alphabet Challenge, where I'm reviewing one movie beginning with a letter of the alphabet every day in the month of August, except on Sundays, in order to raise money for a women's refuge centre in Zambia. Now, today is the letter T, and you guys voted bizarrely for Tammy. I don't know if this was just a practical joke on me or whatever, but yeah, given the options I put up, I gotta say, I was pretty surprised that Tammy got the vote. Now, it's a movie directed by Ben Falcone. It is produced and co-written by Melissa McCarthy, who also stars in the film. Melissa McCarthy is someone that I've actually quite liked for a long time, mostly because I recognised in her from very early on that she's actually a pretty decent dramatic actor, not just a comedian. Comedy obviously is very subjective, as are most things, to be honest. Yeah, I do find her quite amusing most times, but I am, I think, more interested in her as a dramatic actor. However, Tammy is billed as a comedy, and yeah, the question is it funny? It was all right. You know, I've not been known for my love of comedies. It's not my go-to genre. Especially a lot of the modern day comedies. I feel like it follows a lot of the tics I've expected from modern day comedies. Very gross out, very, you know, like what can we get away with that's very offensive in some respects. The language, the sexual remarks, things like that. You know, let's turn sex into a joke, those kind of things. I'm not really interested in that. It doesn't really float my boat. There are other things in this that are quite amusing though, more situational kind of things, like seeing Melissa McCarthy rob a burger shop, and the way she kind of almost does it in the most friendly manner possible for someone to rob a place. That I found quite amusing, mildly amusing. And I do, again, like I said, I do like Melissa McCarthy. I like the presence that she has. So, the story, for what it's worth, is basically she's this character who's a bit down on her luck. She's a bit, kind of moans about life and blames everyone but herself. And in the end, her husband leaves her. She finds her husband cheating on her, and she gets fired from her job in the same day. She goes around to her mum's to complain, and her grandmother, played by Susan Sarandon, overhears her and says, "Let's go. Let's go on a road trip." So yeah, it becomes this road trip for the two of them, two kind of messed up characters, because the grandmother is also an alcoholic, and it's almost like a buddy comedy kind of vibe to it, buddy comedy road trip thing going on. The problem is it's just okay. You know, I was entertained, but I probably won't watch this again. It's like there's characters in it that I enjoyed, but there's also relationship dynamics in it that don't make a right lot of sense. Like there's this one guy that ends up becoming the guy she obviously gets attracted to and has a relationship with eventually, because this is a romantic comedy, so obviously we have that. But I don't really buy in that relationship getting together so quickly, especially given how she introduces herself to him. Like there's nothing about her in that moment, in that situation, that would suggest to this guy that she is a catch. So I don't understand the attraction there on his part. So there's that. I do think Kathy Bates is pretty good in this. Kathy Bates pops up, I should say, along with Sandra Oh as this lesbian couple that are related to her in some way, and Kathy Bates has these pearls of wisdom, kind of tough love, where she basically is just honest and just says, grow up, stop bitching, stop moaning, get on with life. So yeah, and Susan Sarandon is great. I think Susan Sarandon's always great. as is Alison Janney, although she only gets a small part as Janney in this. So, you know, the film's got some really great actors in it. That it's kind of makes it slightly worth checking out just for them. Like I said, I've always liked Susan Sarandon. She will always be an A-lister for me just for Dead Man Walking alone. But yeah, she plays a character that is highly unlikable if put into the wrong hands. But because it's Susan Sarandon, because she's got the skills as an actor that she has, she puts a bit of warmth. Well, she puts a lot of warmth in this character that could come off as very cold, very immature, and very irresponsible. No, yeah. So yeah, I think it's a case of, it's one of those movies where the material is elevated by the actors, but only to the degree that it makes it reasonably entertaining, passes some time, doesn't overstay its welcome too much. It's solid enough, but you're probably not going to remember it by next week. I'm going to give Tammy 3 out of 5, just about. I feel like it's maybe a little unfair to go to a 2.5, so I'm going to go with a 3. It's well made, it's well acted, it's enjoyable in places. It's just, as a comedy, it's what I expect. And the problem is, what I expect of today's comedies isn't necessarily what I gravitate towards. So yeah, there you go. 3 out of 5 from me. But what about you? Have you seen Tammy? Are you one of the people who voted for it, for me to review it? If so, why exactly did you pick Tammy over the other options? But yeah, check out the links below, leave your comments on the film, and until tomorrow, cracking.